Hi everybody, this is Pam with Jesusjunkjournals, and we are working on our Matthew journal today. Gonna do some more. I was gonna say finish it. I don't know if we're finished or not, but we got the cover put on the last one, and so now we're gonna do the inliners. And so I'm gonna use paper. You can use, of course, paper or fabric or whatever you want to use. But I found this paper. This is handmade paper that I bought at Walmart actually quite a while ago. They had a package of it for mark on their clearance thing, and I'm going to use that for my inliner on both the front and the back. And I have a piece of paper, I don't know where it's from, but it says pattern for journal cover, and it looks like it's about the right size height wise. It just needs to be a little wider, so I'm going to use that and just make it wider. Let's see if can I get two of them? I think I can. Let's see. Let me do it like this so I can get a better look at it. I'll just use one of these little markers laying here. Yeah, this is right side up. So this is the front. And normally I would shorten it and let the paper show. Let the fabric show a little bit more, but on this one I'm dealing with this. The other thing is this is sticking up right here and bothering me, so I'm just going to cut that off a little bit. Flip here to hold my pages out of the way and cut this off just a little bit. There. Okay. And let's see. I'm going to use Fabri-Tac because it is going over fabric. And you know what? I just realized I probably, let me look here. Well, that's going pretty close. I was going to say I need to put some washi tape there, but I think it's going to cover all the way up to the paper, which I'm hoping that isn't going to be a problem. Yeah, it's not liking that right there. Okay. That's what I was afraid of. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim this back because you don't really want it to go over that little seam where it bends. And I had forgotten about that, but that so you can see I've got glue going everywhere. So I am going to, actually, I'm going to get some washi tape. Use some nondescript washi tape here. And well, I'm showing you what not to do today instead of what to do. So, all right. I'm going to put a little bit more glue and try this again. Let this go, and then I'll come back here and do the washi tape here. This is really close to that edge there, and I'm not sure, that washi tape may not like it that it's so thin, but we'll see if it will stick on there and bend like I want it to. I'm kind of folding it and letting it follow the shape of that. Yeah, it's not wanting to hold on to that edge, but if I let it dry, I think it will be okay. And then I will go ahead and glue this paper, and actually I need to trim it too because it's going to have the same thing the other one had. So I'm going to cut a strip off of it. All right, so we've got our two inliner pieces on. And so now really we are ready to just load it up with whatever we're going to put in it, which I've already kind of loaded it up. So I'm just going to look through it here and see if I like what I see. Oh, here's the other thing we need to do. I've got to, there is, well, I'm just going to use Fabri-Tac. I have it handy. Put a line of glue here. And yeah, that's about the right width. So I need something there. There's a place for washi tape. And then this last place, I think. Okay. Okay, so I'm just kind of finagling this into place. I'm pushing and pulling and making things go where I want them to go. For the most part, that works. And then that has that there. So, okay. So we're good on that. I have this envelope to put wherever, and I have this paper clip to also put somewhere. I'm going to put it here. Okay, so then I want to look at how thick this is. And it's just about perfect, actually, so I don't really need to add anything else. I've got a little thing here to add somewhere. Then the only other thing is if I want to put a title on here. And I think that I'll probably just do what I normally do, which is take a piece of unbleached muslin and my stamping kit. Okay, so we are going to stamp the title on some muslin. And I am not a stamper, so if you are, you might not want to watch this because I'm just going to cobble it together, so to speak. I don't have, this is like the biggest acrylic block I have. And so I'm going to just do what I can do, and I'm going to stamp like 3 different pieces so that hopefully at least one of them comes out correctly. That's not going to be big enough. I did find a, looks like an old tea towel. I think I want it raveled on the edges, so let me see if I can get this to tear. Oh, sort of, kind of. Somebody went to a lot of trouble to finish this nicely. So that'll make a nice tie around the journal or something. I'm going to go ahead. I have a feeling Matthew's going to take every bit of that length. So I'm going to go ahead and tear a strip. Oh boy. So this was not square. Okay, well, let's hope this works up here at the top. Okay, so I've got a small stamp set. I don't have that many letters. I've only got a couple of sets. So I'm going to try doing Matthew with this set and then use the smaller set to do the book of. So let's see what happens here. And I know, I'm not even doing that right. I know stampers take this and lay it down and put the ink on it. I'm not sure why. Somebody will probably tell me in comments, hopefully, but okay, so I'm going to just come down here and yeah, I don't even know if I THEW, it might fit. Maybe. That's probably all because it's getting pretty skinny down here. Okay, well, let's try that. Let's see if 2 is enough. I need my T again. So I'm going to put my T back on here. And then I need HEW. So I hope you guys are having a fun craft day today. Getting this journal wound up and on to the next one, which is Mark. I'm already on it, working on it, and learning all about Mark. Let's see. W. It's been interesting to learn the differences between the Gospels because you know they're all there for a reason. And they're all just slightly different, at least. Of course, John's very different, but even the other 3 are different. And so it's like, well, why are they different? What makes them different? And so on and so forth. So come on, T, stay on there. Okay. Let's see if I can get it to stay on long enough to get these done. Okay. I don't mind a little wonkiness when I stamp because I think it looks cool, but I don't want to be crazy. Okay, so those both seem fine to me, really. So let's see now about the little ones. I've had these for a long time and they've really done, I've used them a lot. Surprising. And they're very wonky. Whoever glued the letters to the little wooden blocks got them all over the place. So they're high and low and sideways. And so let's see. And then I'm going to try and space this out. So the book of, so let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 spaces basically. So the middle one would be 5 and 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the O of book should be right in the middle. So I'm actually going to start with that. Try to see where my O falls. As you see how it goes over to the side, it's on this side. So let's see. So in the middle, this would be in the middle. I'm just going to go there. And here. And then do another one. Okay, and back off from that. So with a capital B, and it's close to the edge. And then a K. That looks pretty centered, actually. Okay, and then T, yes. Okay, so I'm going to put it about here. I should have done the E and backed off, but I didn't, so oh well. And then an E. Did I already use the E? No. There it is. Oh, I always get worried I'm going to lose the letters and then Okay, well, they both came out decent. I could use either one, actually. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and tear this. That's pretty good. So I'm going to stop and clean this up, and then I'll come back and we will attach that. Okay, I've got my thread out and a needle. Hopefully I'm going to be able to thread this. I've been using those needles that we bind the signatures with, and they've got those giant eyes in them. So this looks really little. Oh, there it goes. What do you know? Okay. And I'm going to do a double thread and tie a knot. And I am just going to do a very simple stitch across here. Let's see, I think I'll start up here. And just stitch this across. Okay, got it started. All right, and I'm just gonna, I'm not sure what this is called, but just a single stitch. So hopefully I'm going to keep the 4 Gospels journals being as similar, like they'll have different cloth on them, but I'm going to keep the same binding look and title and everything similar, so they sort of have a cohesive look about them. I was looking in my pinned book, and by the way, I found this. My friend gave me this. She bought it online. Somebody made these, and they're cute. It's a piece of cardboard with a piece of felt and my initial on it for my last name, and it's a bookmark. And you just put your page of your book over it and keep your place. And it got up here in my craft room, and I want to take it downstairs and use it. So I thought that was a really cute idea. You could make your own if you had something that could sew through cardboard. Of course, you wouldn't have to use cardboard. You could use felt all the way across on back and front and stitch it, even stitch it by hand or glue it even, and make a bookmark for your journal, which I think is what she was intending when she gave it to me, because she does the junk journaling with me. And I think she was thinking that that's what it would be for. Let's see. I can see why Grandma always wore a thimble. I used to play a game with my grandma called Hide the Thimble. I don't know if you guys ever played that, but you take a thimble. It kept me entertained for a couple of hours probably. And it's quiet, so it's a great game. And I played it with my granddaughter when she was little, but I used a bouillon cube because I wanted something similar to a thimble, because the thimble is silver and shiny generally. And so the bouillon cube is wrapped in foil, and so we had sort of the same appearance. But anyway, you hide it in the room in plain sight. You can't hide it behind anything, but it has to be where you could stand in the room and see it. And the person has to leave the room, and then you hide it. They come back in the room, and then they look for it. And you can give them hints like warmer, colder, you know, that kind of thing. Oh, you're burning up. And then eventually they find it, and then they get to hide it. And it's something a kid can do, and they get a kick out of it. And so when I stayed all night with my grandma, that was one of the games we played. She didn't have a lot of toys for me to play with. She had some jacks and a rubber ball that it was probably 100 years old, because she was really good at jacks. When they were kids, that's what they played, and she could do it, and man, she was good. And we would play Chinese checkers. We did play that a lot, and I still like Chinese checkers. But she had a certain way that the game had to be played, a pattern, and she made me play she made me play like the first probably 10 moves the way she wanted them played. And then after that I was on my own, but it had to be played that way. And the world just couldn't revolve properly if those moves weren't there. So it's kind of funny. But and then she had a bingo game, and I think it was actually called Lotto, Lotto. Yes, and I've still got the cards from that game and some of the game pieces. And we played that. And then I played outside a lot, but that was pretty much it. We played some card games. And she read to me. If my grandma didn't do anything else, she read to me. And she read me all the classics, children's classics, Heidi, all the Heidis. There's like 3 or 4. And Little Women, The Secret Garden. She read Old Mother West Wind stories. I think there was more than one of those. And I'd sit there, and I loved for her to read to me. She'd start reading, and then pretty soon she'd doze off, and I'd nudge her in the ribs. Wake up, Grandma, keep reading. So she would. And that, I think, instilled in me a love of reading. So I do have a lot, I owe her a lot for that. And then I would spend the night with her. And the thing that just enthralled me was when we went to bed, she had a feather bed. And she made the feather bed. She didn't allow anyone else to make it. I couldn't possibly make it properly. So she went through this whole routine of making the feather bed in the morning. And but we'd go to bed, turn the lights off, and then I'd say, tell me all the bad things that Pat and Penny did. And Pat and Penny were my sisters. One was 9 years older than me, and one was 12 years older than me. And so I don't know why, but I just loved to hear about all the times that they had messed up and got in trouble. So she would tell me all those stories every time I came over. The same stories. And then the other thing I remember about her is she watched soap operas in the daytime. She called them her stories, and boy, you did not make a noise when Grandma's stories were on. This one, a thimble would be good. There. Okay. She had a clothesline. She would let me, she had these rugs. I don't know where these rugs came from, and she never put them on the floor, but she had these rugs, and they would hang over the clothesline and make this like playhouse, we would call it. And she'd let me take those rugs out there and hang them on the clothesline and walk underneath them, and there was my playhouse. And that was fun. Different days, huh, from now. Oh boy, this is kind of tight. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get this to go in there. And my grandma was not a cook. She couldn't cook at all. It was terrible. But she had done all sorts of carpentry work and that kind of thing with her brother. So, I mean, she could put a roof on a house and put sheetrock up and all that kind of thing. But she was not a very good cook. And she didn't like to cook, and she didn't like to do housework. And so when I'd go there on Sunday dinner after church, every Sunday we had shake and bake chicken. I don't know if they still make shake and bake, but it was a big thing back then. It was kind of a new thing. And you'd put your chicken in this paper bag with this seasoning mix, and then you'd put it in a baking dish and bake it in the oven. And I loved it as a kid. I didn't know any better. And so we had that every Sunday. And then she always had the same thing for breakfast. She'd eat this all-bran cereal with a banana cut in it. And then she would drink cod liver oil with half of an orange squeezed into it. She definitely had a way of doing things. Okay, so there's that. I'm going to tie a knot there. That's good. And there we have it. So now all I need to do is, actually what I do need to do, I forgot, I have tabs still left to do. So let me find my tabs. And I'm going to find them and I'm going to cut them out, and then I'll be right back. Okay, well I thought I had a sheet of tabs that I was going to use, but instead I just went ahead and found a couple of ones that I have in my stash, and this is just a piece of a hem that I stitched on the sewing machine after I pleated it, and so I'm just going to glue that in here just for something different. I think I'll glue it on this page. And then I have just a random tab that I have cut out from one of my kits, I think. And I'm going to glue that in. And I think with all the edges, actually, maybe, you know what, you guys, here's the tabs I think I was thinking about. I guess I already did them. Sorry. So this is an extra one, and I'm just going to go ahead and where should I put it? I might put it on this one. Let that be it. And so this is the end of the Matthew journal. I'm going to get some Hug and Snug and tie around it to close it. And that's it. So we are ready now to move on to Mark as soon as I get it done, which will be a little bit. But anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I hope you're making this one, and I will see you on the next video. Bye-bye.